Hello everyone, this is G and I'm back with another video. I think this is the second or third video today. I've done a lot of videos today. So, this is something that I saw and I wanted to briefly comment on it. So, I know I haven't covered comics in a while. I originally started as a comic channel and now I've just kind of gone all over the place. Now it's just whatever gets my attention and that I have the time for. But I wanted to briefly comment on this because it's a topic that I'm very passionate about, which is character design. So here's the thing. Marvel's been doing this thing which to my knowledge has not been terribly well received of, everybody's Captain America. So they're introducing different young people as Cap. They had one I think a month or so ago where they advertised that this version of Cap is like a skinny kid with a nose ring and in overalls and all that is gay, and that was his big thing. I actually liked the look because it looked like what a skinny boy from the country who's poor might wear. But, people kind of razzed it and said it was a bad design. But the main thing was that, why do we need to know before we even read the book that this young man is gay? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. So they have this design for a character they've named Nichelle Wright, right? And the design is by, I guess, Natasha Bustos, right? And let's just be honest, this art is not exactly all that appealing, at least to me. I mean, the costume's not all that great in my opinion either, but bad art makes a bad design look even worse, right? So, Ethan Van Sciver, if you follow comics, you've heard of him. If you don't, to be a long story short, he's a comic creator, uh, in particular known for his comic art, and he's known for his work of over 20 years with DC Comics. He left DC, he left the mainstream comic industry a few years ago because he joined what is typically known in the comic sphere as Comics Gate, which was a fan revolt, some would say. It often gets mischaracterized and misaligned as some sort of right wing, alt right terror group or whatever, which is it's not. It's just a bunch of comic fans who are very open, who are very critical about their opinions, who are very critical of the current work and very open about their opinions. And the comic industry did not respond well to being openly criticized by knowledgeable fans, right? And at its height, the vitriol was worse probably about 2020, I would say 2016, 2017 to about 2018. Now it's kind of calmed down, at least from what I've seen. Both sides have gone to their corners. But, Ethan, sort of became him and Richard Meyer, both also known as Diversity in Comics, now known as Comics Matter. They sort of became like the poster boys, or to some enemy number one of the movement, and they went on to um, have successful careers as independent comic creators, right? So cool, right? All that. I'm personally not a big fan of Ethan as a person. I don't like the way he behaves online. I don't like the times he's tried to bully people, like Nerdette's Newsstand or people in his audience have tried to bully people. I'm not particularly a fan of the war campaign side of Comicscape, but whatever, right? I don't really follow it enough anymore. But here's the thing. As I said, he's an amazing artist. For all of my misgivings of him as a person, can't say anything bad about his art. So he did a bit of a redesign, which looks like this, right? Which I think is 100 times better than the original design we were just looking at. This to me is very just visually striking and powerful. It has a very Beyonce. That's Beyonce's face more or less, right? But a very strong Sasha Fierce Beyonce vibe. The hip being kind of pushed out to the side. The figure very nice. The sky high boots, all that, right? It's very feminine. It's very powerful. It's pretty much what you would see a pro wrestler like, say, Sasha Banks or Bianca Belair wear. I could see Beyonce wearing this. I think it's a good redesign, and it even keeps the partially exposed leg, which is peak Zack Ryder, which is why I say it's got a wrestling influence. That is peak Zack. But here's the thing: as beautiful as this image is, right? As beautiful as this image is, right? There's always somebody. All right, let me see here. There is always, here we go. There is always someone who's got to ruin the fun, right? I'm often told that I'm too serious, but here's the fun police, right? Saying that for everyone thinking that this is actually practical, I guess I mean actually a practical outfit, get yourself some heels and a corset. Go, do it. Walk around in it for an hour or so. Go to the gym with it, go for a run. But here's the thing. I've actually watched a lot of videos about like 18th century fashion, 17th century, early 19th century, right? Stuff like that, where they used to wear corsets. And from what I know of, if you cannot move or breathe in your corset because the corset often functions similar to a bra, the way a bra functions today. So if you feel that constricted that you can't do everyday activities like walk around or go for a run or something, it's probably too tight, right? There's actually a lot of myths about it that are untrue, right? But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that I want to point out. The problem with this argument here from this young person, let's say, uh, is the idea of practicality. It's a superhero costume. Let's reiterate that. This is a superhero costume. Or rather, it's a very hyper femme take on the Captain America costume, right? That's what it is. It's this hyper feminine take on the Captain America costume. It is not designed to be practical. The Captain America costume is not designed to be practical. It doesn't look like any uniform from World War II. Cap doesn't use any World War II era weapons like guns or grenades. He carries, as we see here in the image, right, and as we all know, a shield. He carries a shield. Or in this case, she's carrying a shield, right? We all know that if you're going to war in the modern day, if you were going to war even back in the 40s, you were not carrying this type of shield with you anymore. That literally died out hundreds of years ago, if not thousands of years ago, right? There are certain characters like, say, Cap, like, say, Wonder Woman, whose story is steeped in Greek mythology, where having a shield makes sense for them. But it is not about real world practicality. Okay, that's not what it's about. It's about either symbolism, in the case of Captain America or anybody dressed up like him, like Sam Wilson, right, who's also known as the Falcon, whether it's this girl, whether it's Miss America, America Chavez, whether it's OG characters that I don't think most people have ever heard of, like Battlestar, whether it's freaking Rhodey, whether it's James Rhodes, War Machine, who they renamed as the Iron Patriot in the or the American Patriot, Iron Patriot, whatever the hell they called it, in the Iron Man films, right? It's about representing something, right? In this case, representing America, F yeah, right? Same way Captain Britain is a big dude dressed in the flag, right? In the British flag, and several other characters, right? It's not about practicality. Okay? You, my dear, just seem to be terrified of sex appeal. Because guess what? If you were talking about practicality for a fight and you want to talk about female fighters, okay. It says here comics are meant to be fun, escapist entertainment, idealize people doing really cool stuff. Wonder Woman doesn't have to worry about bunions, right? And then she talks about when's the last time you saw a male superhero in heels? My dear, did you ever see Prince? And then Zevius says, yes, Prince jumping on pianos is as close to real life superhuman as you get, right? But I believe there was another one. I'm trying to find it here. All right, I finally found it. Sorry, it took forever to find this. So her next response was this, right? It's not about the comic, you absolute effing idiot. Well, that's real kind when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody about something that you have a disagreement on. Call them an effing idiot. That's mature. And I'm so tired of you morons. Ooh, again, more respect, more respect and more maturity, right? I'm so tired of you morons pretending it's about a single comic. It's about an entire industry of sex sells, dismissing any woman who doesn't look like this as unattractive and undesirable. The first design was so cute. Now, here's the thing blah doesn't seem to understand, right? She's entitled to her personal opinions. She can find the first design cute. I don't, and I much prefer the redesign that again Ethan did, right? But it's not a matter of your personal opinion, right? It's a matter of what, if you want to make money at least, what a decent amount of your fan base and what the audience likes. And there's nothing wrong with that outfit. And as this person, Jamie Anderson, says, quoting Grant Morrison, "I want to see beautiful people doing amazing things." Right? It says superheroes shouldn't be dragged down to our level. We should reach for theirs. They aren't just characters and costumes; they're symbols. Drag them to the ground, ask too many questions, and they fall apart. Exactly. That's what they're about. They're about what they represent, which is the ideal in humans, beyond the ideal. They're meant to be beautiful. Beauty, is inspirational, right? And I know I had to reply somewhere. Well, let me go see Aquaman. Good point. Good point. And I know I had a reply in here somewhere, but I can't find it. And I don't want to spend more time belaboring the point here. Let me see. Is it gonna load? Okay, yeah, I can't find my response. It was here somewhere. I'll just link it. Right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, you can have superheroes, right? You can have superheroes who don't show skin. You can have heroes like, say, Big Barda, right? Who typically wears armor and doesn't show skin. You don't have to, not every design has to be sexy or hypersexual. There's nothing wrong with this design being sexy. It's very visually appealing and alluring, and that's fine. But you don't have to have a design that is like, let me try to find it here. Let me see here. Sue Storm 90s costume. Not every female superhero costume needs to look like this. And not every female superhero costume does. This is actually Sue Storm back in the 1990s, right? This didn't last long for good reason. It didn't fit the character, and that in the end is what should matter. If the design fits the character, right? Sometimes a sexy get up is gonna work. At times like this, it's not going to work. And sometimes you can have a character, right? And then you can have designs like Big Barter here, right? She looks beautiful. She looks strong. She looks attractive, right? There are many different types of sexy. It doesn't have to be just one thing. But at the same time, there is nothing wrong with this type of sexy. Same way there's nothing wrong with, come on, with the barter type of sexy, right? There is room at the table for this, for this, for this, and for everything in between. And I think that people like, I think people that like blah here, right? We want to talk about practicality. Practicality. It needs to be practical. No, literally 9 times out of 10, it doesn't need to be practical. What it does need to be is visually engaging and striking and fun and make sense for the character. So long as it does that, it's a good costume that will be uh, remembered by comic fans, right? So, my dear Blah, learn to loosen up a little. You'll live longer. But anyway, that's the video. Please let me know what you think, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye.